So hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another video, and my recording hard drive is still broken, so once again random pictures in the background. I know it's annoying and I'm sorry, but it's broken. I can't fix it here. And today I just want to sit down and talk about Warlords of Draenor. I never did this because I highlighted certain features, I criticized other features, but I never sat down and talked about it. And let's do that. So first of all, I think this expansion will be really important for me in terms of lore, because when I first got into the game I was big into lore, and one of the best moments I can remember from the Burning Crusade is me and my friends and our raid group standing in front of Illidan. Everyone is discussing tactics, and me and my friends, we're just giggling like fangirls going, "Oh my god, it's Illidan!" Being complete tits, just loving Illidan, just standing there. He's standing there. He's so damn cool. Look at them, Warglaives of Azeroth. Hey, dipshit this way. Hello. So, you know, we were big into lore, and that continued throughout the Wrath of the Lich King as well. And then Cataclysm came out, and I was more interested in the new mechanics than in the lore. And all my friends left, so I was alone. And I was never interested in the lore ever since. I just wasn't. You know, the one kind of interesting thing was Cho'Gall and Deathwing and, you know, their connection to Cthulhu. And I'm not quite sure if I'm correct, but Deathwing, how Deathwing became the way he is, or, you know, was before we killed him and made, you know, gave him a pedicure before flushing him into Maelstrom. So, Deathwing, originally, when the Titans left Azeroth, before they left, they gathered the dragon aspects and they were like, "Look, we're gonna give you some cool shit and you have to watch over stuff. You know, just don't fuck it up. Don't let anyone else fuck it up. Just take care of it." And they took Deathwing. They were like, "Look, you're gonna take care of the Earth. It's very exciting, trust me. It doesn't sound like it, you know, but there's good hours, you know. You have a lot of break time." And they just shoved him down into what is it called down there? You know, under Maelstrom. That thing. Bloody hell. I forgot the name of it. That's just brilliant. Doesn't matter. They just shoved him under the earth, and he was supposed to watch the Earth. And oh, you know, as he was there, Cthulhu started fucking with him. And eventually it drove him mad and corrupted him. You know? And also Cho'Gall is also corrupted by Cthulhu. That's why he has eyes everywhere. Cthulhu is basically a massive eye on top of a weird old god bowl. It's very weird to kind of describe. It's a lot of tentacles on a bowl, and there's an eye sitting on top of it. That's Cthulhu. So I was kind of interested in that, and I'm really annoyed that I don't know more about it. But that's where it stopped. When Pandaria came out, I was like, holy shit, what did they do? Because we knew that there are Pandaren and then there are brewmasters. We knew that. We knew that they have monks. We knew all this shit from Warcraft strategy games. You know, I think it's Warcraft 3. Holy shit, it's been a long time. I need to play that game again. I think in Warcraft 3, you know, we have Rexxar hanging out with Chen Storm. What is his name? I don't know. He hangs out with the Pandaren Brewmaster and with Vol'jin in Durotar. Now, there is a Rexxar, Pandaren Brewmaster, and Vol'jin in Durotar, hanging out, you know, solving mysteries or crimes or whatever. So we knew this, but they made so much shit up, as they did with Cataclysm. There was nothing to back it up. They were just making up shit. And I just completely lost interest. Because before, I knew a lot about the world. You know, when I first just stepped into WoW, I was amazed. You know, just to come to a building. Another really good time or moment from WoW that just is stuck in my head is me coming to a building and just looking at it and thinking, what the hell is this? I know this building. Oh my god, this is the Orc Barracks. This is the exact same building. This is the orc barracks. Or going to Plaguelands and finally seeing the Alliance lumber mill camp thing. And we just came there and my friend's like, oh my fucking god, this is the lumber mill. This is the exact same building. This is the human lumber mill that you need to build archers in Warcraft 2. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. Oh my god, you know, fanboyism. And it was awesome because we knew a lot about the world before we actually got in it, because we read books and we did things, and we just liked the lore. I liked the Warcraft universe. And with Cataclysm was just like, oh, Deathwing fucked everything up. And first of all, the expansion felt weird because you want to go somewhere, just take a portal, which is weird, which is just straight up weird. They should never do this ever again. Now, give us a new continent, okay, but don't give us X amount of zones connected with portals. That's fucking pointless. Now, they can be instanced. They don't have to be there even in the world, because they're just there. You just go through a portal and you go there. It just, I don't know, it felt really, really weird. And then Pandaria, they, you know, gave us a continent again, but it was all made up shit. You know, they never had anything really to back it up, so they just made up a lot of shit. And also the fact that they made Garrosh into the ultimate, you know, boss, I don't really like that, because even though Garrosh was a douche, he wasn't a douche all the time. You know, before Pandaria and Garrosh actually going bonkers, you know, batshit, Garrosh was, in my eyes, better than Sylvanas. I think Sylvanas is more batshit than Garrosh. You know, and Garrosh actually, you do remember, it's in Silverpine Forest, the Undead questline. Sylvanas, you know, is talking about blah blah blah, you know, we have all these Valkyrs and it's awesome, and Garrosh shows up and she's like, look, War Chief, what I have. And there are 3 Valkyrs there, you know, Agatha, I don't know, and she's like, show War Chief what we can do. And she just raises dead, you know, she just takes dead bodies and she raises them. And that's very Lich King-y, by the way. This is not how it's supposed to happen. If you don't know, this is not how it's supposed to happen. This is how Lich King does things. This is how he makes his undead, and they're mindless and dumb. You know, they're not real undead. And Garrosh is like, what are you doing? What difference is there between you and the Lich King now? And she goes, well, isn't it obvious, War Chief? I'm with the Horde. And he just looks at her and he goes, watch your clever mouth, bitch. And I was just like, oh yeah, damn yeah. And ever since then, I had a feeling that Sylvanas eventually will go batshit crazy, because she's heading down the Lich King path. You know, and you can't really stop or go back once you start heading down the Lich King path. So before Garrosh went batshit in Pandaria, he was actually better than Sylvanas. You know, another good example is the Stone-Tunnel Mountains questline, where you basically progress through the ranks of the Kor'kron, you know, warband or whatever it is, and at the end you find out that there is like a druid school of thing, and you go back to the commander, you know, to the batched commander. You're like, hey, these are just innocent druids, and they're not doing anything. There are kids down there. He's like, no, those fuckers aren't innocent. And he just throws bomb at them. He kills all of them. And then Garrosh comes in. He's like, what the fuck have you done? And throws him off a cliff. You know, this is not what Horde is about. Just killing kids and innocent people. Just fuck off, and throws him off a cliff. And you're like, oh yeah, Garrosh. I like you. And suddenly he's like, Pandaria, Shah, bad guy. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, just take a guy that's not that bad. You know, he's a dumbass. You know, he's a warrior. Now, what do you expect from him? And he just, you know, you make him into the final boss, and then he runs away at the end after you defeat him, and then he's in another expansion. That's like padding it out too much, in my opinion. It's just too much Garrosh, in my opinion, in WoW right now. So I don't like that very much. But it just, the Pandaria storyline, the one really interesting thing I must say was the Paragons of the Klaxi storyline for me. That's actually the one part of Pandaria that I actually paid attention to, because it's really interesting. Just the fact that, oh look, our queen, she went batshit crazy and she's possessed by Shah. She's controlled by Shah. We need to do something about that. And if you did the entire Klaxi storyline, the daily quest hub to the end, if you are revered, this is a spoiler by the way, they just take you down and they're like, look, we like the old gods, and if they return, we are not friends anymore. If you want to fight the old gods, we're gonna fight you. Which is the explanation behind them guarding Garrosh, because he has the heart of Yasaraj. So they're like, holy shit, he has a heart of our dude. Well, he's the boss, so that's why you fight them. Even though it's really weird that I've killed them, I don't know, 20 times, and they are still there in their bloody daily quest hub. But I guess, it makes sense. But at least they could have gone, one step further, and if you're revered and you killed them in Siege of Orgrimmar, they just, delete them or phase them out for you. Other people can still see them, but they phase them out for you at least. So there was the one really good part about Pandaria. I also like the bloody hell, I'm losing my voice. This is awful. I also like scenarios in the beginning. Not now, because everyone is just rushing towards the end of the scenario, and I already did them. But the first time I did every single scenario, I was intrigued. I was just absorbing the lore, and I was interested in it. I thought it was a cool idea when they did the Theramore scenario at the end of Cataclysm. I really looked forward to that, and I still like scenarios, heroic or normal ones. But Draenor, I think, will basically make me interested in the lore again, which is a really good thing, because I want to be interested. I like the Warcraft universe, but when it's all made up shit, I don't like that. But Draenor has a lot of facts that can back it up. They have a lot of stuff to back it up with, which is awesome. Really good, really good. And I think that it will take me a long time to level up in Draenor, just because I want to read the quest text, and I want to explore every nook and cranny, and once again look for the lore, because I am really interested in that world. That's a world that I am really interested in. Outland before being fucked up? Hell yeah, I'm interested in that. I really want to see everything there is. Or maybe I will do it differently. Maybe I will just I will just bulldoze my druid through to level 100 so I can start raiding and stuff, and then I will have another character with which I will absorb all the lore. But I'm not quite sure yet. I don't want to get into the raiding scene too late, because then, you can't really push towards any good ranks on your server. But yeah, so the lore is very important for me again, and I'm really starting to look up more lore as of late, of Draenor, and maybe a couple of things that I forgot, because I already know a lot of things about Draenor. That's the cool thing. I can just enter Draenor and be like, yeah, I know about this thing. I know this thing was here and it was destroyed when all the crazy shit happened and it became Outland. I know this thing was here and I like it, and I'm gonna take a screenshot with it. And then I'm gonna flex and take another screenshot because I knew it was supposed to be there. So I am really intrigued by the Draenor world. So that's the first and probably the most important thing for me. Next, I hope they do more with dungeons. It looks like they are doing more with dungeons, because dungeons in Pandaria were pathetic. They really were pathetic. So I hope they do more with them. Challenge mode dungeons. Once again, really looking forward to those, because one of the best things I did in Pandaria was just hang out with friends while doing challenge mode dungeons. know, and just trying to get through it, you know, not really think about it. We didn't have really specialized gear. For fuck's sake, I was healing in Boom King gear, you know, that kind of thing, and we still did them, and it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with friends in challenge mode, so that was really good. Next, raids. Well, we're gonna have one raid at the start. I think it's gonna be the Blackrock Foundry, and I think it'll be in Nagrand. Yeah, I think so. Nagrand. Oh my god. I also want to see Temple of Karbur before it got screwed up and became Black Temple. I'm really interested in that as well. So raiding, because the mythic mode will be 20 man, they can bring back some cool stuff. Do you remember Gruul's Lair, when you're fighting the first boss and you need a mage that spell steals the shield, and then you have, what was there, hunters? You needed hunters to kind of ping pong one of the guys. You had to aggro, one hunter had to aggro, then another one, then another one, then another one. It was distracting shot, I think it was. Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff there. So they can bring back, you know, class requirements for bosses in the mythical difficulty, which is another thing that I'm really looking forward to, because your class is no longer just a DPS or a healer. You're actually a druid or a hunter or a rogue or a mage, and it matters. Oh, you're a mage, it really matters, because on this fight you need a mage, you know, you need 2 mages to do something, to spell steal something. And if you don't have 2 mages, well, then you can go home, because you can't do this boss. And I am really looking forward to what they come up with, even though it might be really bad. It's like, yeah, you know, if you don't have mages, not a big deal, but if you do have mages, they can do 1% more damage. Yay! So I hope it's not dumb. I really, really do. But, you know, the class, you know, class roles in raids, yes, I like that very much so. Next, this is gonna probably shock you. I'm interested in the new PvP island because it sounds like they're trying to ape World v World from Guild Wars 2. And just make a small island that's kind of like World v World. It's better than Winter Grasp, and I think that they can do it really well, because that's what they're really good at, just aping shit and making it better. And they can make it better. You know, the Guild Wars World v World isn't the best thing in the world. It has its problems, it has its flaws, and I think they can do it fairly well. If they throw in a couple of PvE objectives as well, I think it'll be okay. You know, don't put an entire raid like you did with Winter Grasp in, but just put a couple of, basically old Alterac Valley. Make it an open world old Alterac Valley of sorts, where you can just do things, you can launch attacks and defend, and that would be really cool. I'd be really interested in that. So I want to see that. Just the item squish, I think, is a brilliant idea, because it's getting quite ridiculous, and I just can't wait to have low health, do low damage. I just like it more. It looks better. I just like it more. I don't know why. I just don't know why. But I just like smaller numbers, because I think it's because bigger numbers are more confusing. It's easier to get lost, and it's just simpler to do 120 damage or 1200 damage rather than 1,593,685 damage. You know, so I want to see that. The new stats they're adding, that sounds really cool. And from what I've heard, the way they're gonna implement that, it's basically, yeah, you know, these new stats, they can be on gear, but they won't always be on gear. So you might get an item and it will have a lifesteal on it, and you'll be like, yes, I got my item and it has lifesteal, this is awesome. And they already tested this out, you know, like, you know, the Siege of Orgrimmar trinkets, that's how they tested it out, and it worked, so they implemented it. Good. Next, we're not getting a new class or a race, probably, which is okay. I don't really care, because I'm still gonna play my druid. And yeah, just the lore, the land. Hopefully they will make dungeons better. There was a talk where they basically said, look, we want to make world bosses feel like world bosses again, and you know, they shouldn't drop tier gear, which is another good change. I think they stick to that. Hopefully they'll fix dungeons so they're not as pathetic. They will put out more scenarios. The rates are gonna be good. Yeah. Bloody, it's 9:30 and it's dark. You should sleep, dipshit. Yes, you should sleep. There we go. And he's probably hungry. No, don't. Can you hear him? Ah, this is call for food. Stop. So yeah, that's it. I just hope that what they have said they will stick to, because most of the things are really good. I'm still pissed off that they decided to remove the Trial of the Gladiator, but you know, the other things are pretty good. I also kind of look forward to the garrison, and now I need to go and feed dipshit because he won't shut the hell up. I'm coming, baby.